Hi everyone. I'm doing this video because I've had a few parents be concerned because they don't know how to help their kids with math at home. We do math so differently in school now than we did when we were in school. So I'm going to show you how we teach our students today so you can help them better at home, I hope. So the number that we're going to be looking at today for division is 792 divided by 6. So I'm going to be using four different colors. Purple is going to be my neutral color when I'm not using the other three. First color we're going to look at is red. By the way, you don't have to do the colors at home. I'm just showing you this way. So if your student says, well, it's the red one, you know what they're talking about. So our red color represents our hundreds. Sometimes our hundreds are going to be represented in a hundreds flat that looks like this. Like that. Our hundreds flats, we know that 100 ones cubes make up a hundreds flat. So when we see a hundreds flat, we know that it actually equals 100.
Caleb and Kaylee Chavez, your mom will pick you up today. Kaylee and Caleb Chavez. Thank you.
Next, we're going to be looking at green. So our green is going to represent our tens, or our 10 sticks, which looks like this. This represents a 10 stick. We know that it takes 10 ones cubes to make up one 10 stick. So when we see this, we know that it actually represents 10. Blue is our last color, which you've probably guessed is going to represent our ones. We represent our ones with just a dot. It's not a very good dot. There we go. With a dot. We know that when we see that, it actually means a 1. So when we first start teaching long division, we start by looking at it in groups and drawing a picture to help us really visualize what we're doing when we're dividing. So I'm going to do that alongside with showing you the long division of it. So we know that by looking at this, we're going to have 6 groups. And so I'm going to start out by drawing out 6 groups to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have my 6 groups that I'm going to be able to work with. Over here, I'm going to start my long division, which hopefully will look a little bit familiar to you. So I'll have 6, and in the square, which also means divided by, right, is 792. So this is going to start where I'm going to start my long division part of it. When we start, we always look at the biggest number. So we know by looking at 792 that our biggest number is our hundreds. Our biggest place value is our hundreds. So we're going to start with the 7. And the first question I ask myself is, okay, I have 7 hundreds. Can I fit at least 1 hundreds flat into each of my groups? Well, I have 7 hundreds flat in 6 groups, so I know that I can. So I'm going to start drawing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't go to 7 because if I go to 7, I put it in this group, and this group would have 2, and all the rest would have 1, which makes them uneven. So I have to stop at 6. I've used 1 hundredths flat in each of my groups. So, jumping back to the division, the algorithm. What goes on my bottom is always going to be what I've used in my groups all together. For instance, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds flats. We know each hundreds flat actually is 100. I've used 6 of them, which means I've used 600 of my original number. That is what I'm going to minus from my original number. On top, I'm going to be looking at one single group. Now, I'm going to look at my first group just because that's easiest for me, but it doesn't matter as long as you're only looking at one single group. I've used 100s flat in my group. We know 100s flat represents 100. That goes on top. I can double check this because whatever I put on top, I should be able to times by my group number to get this number. So 100 times 6 equals 600. So I know that right now I'm on the right track. I'm going to pick back up my neutral color and I'm going to minus this so I know what I'm working with now. 2 minus 0 is 2. 9 minus 0 is 9. And 7 minus 6 is 1. Sometimes we say it like this. So just if they start saying it like that, like this, you'll understand. 2 minus 0 is 2. 90 minus 0 is 90. And 700 minus 600 is 100. All right? This is my new number that I'm working with. I've used 600 in my groups. Now I have 192 left. Here comes my green marker, which represents my tens. I know I can't put another hundreds flat in each of my groups. I know that because my groups will be uneven. So I need to turn this hundreds flat into tens. I need to turn it into 10 sticks. Well, we know that 1 hundreds flat, it takes 10 sticks to make 1 hundreds flat. So, therefore, we know that I now have 19 10 sticks. I'm going to put them into my groups just like I did my hundreds flat. So I'm just going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, I have to stop at 18 because if I put 19, it'll make my groups uneven. So I've used 18 10 sticks. We know that it takes 10 ones to make a single 10 stick. So I've used 18 of them. So I haven't just used 18, I've used 180. So that's what goes on my bottom. That's what I'm going to be minusing. On top goes my one single group. I'm looking at my ones. I've used 1, 2, 3 10 sticks in a single group. Well, I'm not going to write 3 because I've used 10 sticks. Each 10 stick has 10 ones in them, so this is actually 30. So I'm going to write 30 up top. Now I need to come back here and minus. Two minus 0 equals 2. 90 minus 80 equals 10. 100 minus 100 equals 0. All right, so now left, I have 12. Again, I can't put any more 10s in my groups because they'll make them uneven, so I need to turn these 10s into 1s. So I pick up my blue because now I'm working with 1s. In each 10 stick, I have 10 1s. So I know now that I am working with 12 1s. I'm going to put them into my groups just like I did with my hundreds flats and my 10 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In this case, they go in evenly. I've used 12 ones. So I'm going to put 12 ones right there. Up here, I look at my one single group. I've used 2 in one single group. That goes up here. And now I need to minus to see if I have anything left to work with. 2 minus 2 is 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. If you had a remainder, it would go here, and you would know it was a remainder because this number would have to be less than my groups. So it has to be 5 or lower to be a remainder. Now, I know that my answer is right here, 132. I can double check this by looking at my groups. I have 100, 32. So I know that my answer is correct. Now, we will always be using the pictures. Eventually, we're going to go away from using the pictures, and they're just going to be doing the algorithm. But for the moment, being able to see visually what we're doing and why the algorithm works that way is really important, and it really helps solidify for our students why we're doing what we're doing. And even if they can't quite remember all the steps just by simply teaching the algorithm, they understand why you're doing it that way, and therefore they can figure it out. All right? So, because eventually we're going to have, maybe you need to put 72 ones in, you don't want to write 72 ones out. So we're going to eventually go to the algorithm and only the algorithm. But that's how we're teaching long division right now. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. And in the future, if you would like more of these videos explaining how we're teaching things here, let me know and I'd be happy to help. All right, have a good day.